Good evening, everyone. This isn't our typical deep dive.
Yeah, not at all.
Not even sure where to start, really.
Right.
The world is.
Right.
What's changing?
It is.
People are changing. And we're kind of running out of time to figure out why.
We are.
What we're going to talk about today isn't something you want to hear, to be honest.
No.
But you need to know if you want to survive.
You do.
Strange parasitic creatures have shown up.
Yeah.
They get under people's skin and wrap around their bones. They embed themselves in their bodies and change them.
They do.
I barely got away from one of these things myself earlier today.
Oh, wow.
It's not something I really want to think about, but you need to know what we're dealing with here.
Definitely. What's really wild is that we're seeing these parasites everywhere, like literally every corner of the globe.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The UN has issued a level 5 global containment protocol.
Level 5.
Yeah, that's their highest level of alert. Makes pandemics look like a walk in the park.
I don't even want to imagine.
Yeah.
And it's not just the UN either. We've got cities on lockdown, Los Angeles, Moscow, Sydney, places everyone knows. Places you might have even been to.
Right.
They're totally shut down.
It's crazy.
And nobody knows how to make it stop.
Nobody. And the thing is, these parasites are unlike anything we've ever seen.
Really?
The World Health Organization is totally stumped. They're saying they're organic, but their physiology is.
Hey.
Oh, it just doesn't make sense.
What does that even mean?
Okay, so imagine something translucent pulsating. You can barely see it.
Okay, creepy.
And it can burrow into a person's flesh and merge with their nervous system.
Ugh, that's just... So what are they calling it? A hive mind or something?
Yeah, exactly. A hive mind gives me chills just thinking about it.
Me too.
The CDC reports say that the people infected aren't dead.
Really?
But they're not themselves either. It's like they're puppets controlled by this alien thing.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Do we even know where these things came from?
Nope. Not a clue. And we don't know what they want either.
So we have no idea where they came from, we have no idea what they want, and they're everywhere.
Pretty much sums it up.
This is insane.
Yeah. And what makes it even scarier is that there's nothing we can compare it to. This isn't like a virus we can create a vaccine for.
Right.
This is something totally new, something we don't understand.
So how do they work? I mean, what's happening inside those things?
Well, early reports suggest that they're messing with the human nervous system directly.
What do you mean?
Imagine if you could tune into someone's brainwaves. Like, you could tap into those electrical signals that control our thoughts and actions.
So you're saying they can control people's thoughts?
It seems that way. And get this, they're turning their victims into living antennas.
Antennas? What are you talking about?
Okay, so think about it. Their victims become like transmitters, amplifying their control, and maybe even sending signals out to attract more of those things.
This is freaking me out.
Mm-hmm.
And those reports coming out, they just keep getting worse.
I know.
Was that one from Berlin? This guy was watching his neighbor, and this blob, just like you described, came out of a vent and latched onto the guy.
Oh, God.
A few minutes later, the neighbor comes back out,
Huh?
totally silent, eyes totally vacant,
Mm.
and these pulsing veins all over his neck.
Well, then what happened?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's all he did. He just looked at the guy and then walked away.
Wow, that's creepy. You know, the reports are just getting more and more disturbing. Like that one from the hospital in Mexico City.
Oh, yeah. What was that one?
This guy shows up at the hospital with crazy stomach pain.
Okay.
And while they're checking him out, the doctors see this thing moving under his skin.
No way. You're kidding?
I'm serious. It was like a tentacle or something. And get this, you could barely see it.
You're making this up.
I'm not. It was translucent. Like you said, just like a blob.
Okay, this is just not right.
It's like something straight out of John Carpenter.
Ugh, don't even.
And what really gets me is that we don't know anything about these things. We don't know where they came from. We don't know what they want.
Right. It's like our brains just can't even process them.
Exactly. It's like trying to understand a color you've never seen before. Our brains just aren't wired for this.
So are you saying that we have no idea where they came from?
We really don't. And what's even worse is how they take over a person.
What do you mean?
It's not just their body. In the Mexico City case, the guy just suddenly went limp. Like someone flipped a switch. And then get this, he stands up.
So what? Maybe the doctors were wrong about his injuries.
No, they weren't wrong. He had a broken spine. And that's not all. The doctor said he started talking, but it wasn't his voice. It was something else. Something deeper, distorted. And it kept repeating, "Join us, join us. It's beautiful," over and over and over.
Are you serious?
I swear, it's in the reports. It was like whatever was controlling him was speaking through him.
Okay, wait a minute. So you're saying that not only can these things control someone's body, but they can also get inside their head.
That's what it looks like. Which is beyond terrifying if you think about it. We're talking about something that can manipulate our deepest desires, our fears, and use them against us.
This is insane. This is seriously messing with me. You know, I had my own run-in with one of these things earlier today.
You're serious? You actually saw one. I'm so glad you're okay, but I can't even imagine what that must have been like.
Honestly, it hasn't quite sunk in yet, you know? But I keep replaying it in my head.
What happened?
Okay, so I was stuck in traffic.
Right.
And I looked out my window and saw this thing. It was just like they described, this translucent blob moving down the sidewalk. It was like, it was on a mission, like it had somewhere important to be. And it was heading straight for this guy who was just walking along, totally oblivious.
Oh my God. What did you do?
What could I do? I was trapped in my car. I just watched as this thing, it just wrapped itself around the guy's ankle.
Did he scream?
He did. And then just like that, he stopped moving completely. And then he turned and looked right at me. But it wasn't him, you know.
What do you mean?
His eyes were empty, just empty. It was the creepiest thing ever. And I swear, for a moment, I felt this pull, like something was trying to get inside my head, too.
That's really disturbing. And it actually lines up with what some other people have reported.
What are you saying?
It's possible they can influence us from a distance, like sense our emotions and manipulate them.
You think they wanted you to get out of the car?
Maybe. Or maybe they were just curious. Either way, it's not a good sign. It means we don't even know how to avoid them, even if we try to stay away.
Okay, so what can we do? How do we fight back? We're not totally helpless here, are we?
I wish I had the answers, but the truth is we're still trying to understand what we're dealing with here.
But we have to do something. People are counting on us for answers.
I know. And we're working as fast as we can. But for now, containment is our top priority. We need to slow them down, keep them from spreading.
Well, they've already locked down half the world. What else can they do?
We all have to do our part. Stay inside as much as possible. Make sure our homes are secure. These things are like tiny ninjas. They can get in through the smallest cracks and crevices.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Stay inside, board up the windows, become a hermit.
Exactly, and this is really important. Try to avoid any contact with anyone showing signs of infection.
So if my neighbor's acting a little off, I should just pretend I'm not home.
Pretty much. Look, this is a matter of survival now. We have to be smart, we have to be cautious, and we have to look out for each other.
So we're supposed to stay inside, keep our distance, and basically hope for the best. What about actually fighting back? If I see one of these things coming at me, what am I supposed to do? Just wave a white flag and let it take over?
Honestly, running away is probably your best bet. Based on what we're seeing, direct confrontation is a really bad idea.
You're kidding, right?
I'm serious. These things are insanely tough.
Yeah.
And they move in this weird way. It's like they know what you're going to do before you do it.
So running it has got it. But these things are small, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe we can outrun them.
Probably. But listen, if you see one of these things, whatever you do, don't make any sudden moves and keep it down.
What do you mean? Like stay calm?
There's been a few cases where people said they were drawn to sudden movement and loud noises. It's like they're hunting us.
Okay, I am officially creeped out. So we have these parasite things crawling around everywhere, taking over people's minds and bodies, and we don't even know what they want or where they came from.
That I bet sums it up.
Is there even an end game here? Or is this it? Is this how it ends for humanity?
We don't know for sure, but there have been some strange developments. Something's happening, and it's not good.
Like what? You mean like that thing in Paris? With a theater, that was messed up.
Yeah, that and other things too. That theater incident was huge. Over 50 people infected at once.
I know, it was awful.
Yep. And afterward, they all just stood up together and started chanting.
The chanting, right? What was that about?
No one knows. It wasn't any language anyone recognized.
So what was it? Some kind of alien message?
We're not sure, but it's definitely connected to the parasites somehow. And it's happening more and more, all over the world.
This is just, I don't even know what to say. It's too much.
I get it, but we can't give up. We have to hold on to hope. We have to remember who we are. We're all in this together, and that's got to count for something, right?
Right. You're right. So what do we do? How can we possibly fight something we don't even understand?
We have to stay aware, stay vigilant, and we have to warn each other.
You really think that'll be enough?
It has to be. This is about survival. Now more than ever, we need to work together. We need to protect ourselves and each other. We can't let these things win. We can't let them take away what makes us human.
This isn't just an invasion of our planet. It's an invasion of our bodies and our minds. These creatures are turning people into something we don't even recognize. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I do know this. We need to stay aware, stay safe, and stay human. Whatever these things are, whatever they want to change us. Please protect yourselves.
Yeah.
And remember, you are not alone in this. We're all fighting this together. We're all fighting for our humanity.